Line Whisperer coming at you here mid-December. We got a week or so before Christmas. We got no more college regular season. It's all over. All over. We have some bowl games coming up. I'll pop in here and there for the games that I like. I love LSU over Oklahoma, and I love Clemson over Ohio State. They are going to smoke Ohio State. It's guaranteed it's going to be an LSU Clemson final. So we got some time to worry about that till December 28th. I'll give more thoughts on that a little bit later. But what else we have is now some NFL games. I do like the Buffalo Bulls in the. I think that's the first bowl game next Friday. I'll also time for some action. I'll put that up next week sometime. But let's get to some NFL games. I've been all focused on college all year. I never really focused on the NFL too much. That's why you haven't seen too many videos or discussions about it. However, now I have no college games to look at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So now it's NFL games and studying those lines. So let's see who the Line Whisperer likes this week. All right, time for the Line Whisperer to talk some NFL. Usually I would show Cookie right now, but she's not feeling so well. And I just usually drag her in here and just force her to be on, but just going to let her rest for right now. So in the NFL, there's a theory I have called the zig and the zag. No one season goes the same way the whole time. You might be the Baltimore Ravens and dominate for 10 weeks in a row, who again dominated on Thursday night, but most teams have ebbs and flows. And the first team we're going to bet on is the Chicago Bears. I didn't like them all year. I would have probably taken the under on their over-under for the season. I bet on the Eagles to beat them, to cover, not only beat them, to cover, which they did, 5 points back in October. But lately, the Bears have had a pulse. I liked them against the Cowboys, and I like them this week again against the Green Bay Packers, getting 4.5. Packers should be favored by at least 6 or 7. This line's talking to me. It's telling me it's going to be very cold there. Green Bay they're playing above what their record should be. I think they got 10 wins already. They're good, but not great team. And the Bears have been pretty solid lately. As much as anything, they got mojo, and I think things are zigging their way. So we're going to go first pick Chicago Bears plus 4.5. There are 2 afternoon games that the Line Whisperer likes. And let's start with the LA Rams. And this has to go back to the zigging and zagging theory. Let's go back 2 years ago. Sean McVay, I didn't dislike him, but I never really liked him. And especially as much as the media fawned over this guy. The old joke is you have a cup of coffee, you get a new job. As a guy in Cincinnati, the guy in Green Bay. They're all buddies with Sean McVay. They all get jobs. But you know who's always owned the LA Rams? The Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles will beat them twice in LA, and yet Doug Peterson gets no love. Sean McVay gets all the love. 2 years ago, Sean McVay had a great record. We were the 1 seed, and the last week, the week 17, he could have played to get the 3 seed, but instead he chose to sit everyone because he wanted the 4 seed so he could play us in the second game. What he didn't realize is Atlanta Falcons came to town and whooped his ass in LA in his home stadium, which is exactly what he deserved. Ever since I've seen that bullshit from Sean McVay, I'm not concerned anymore about him. So that's my Sean McVay backstory. So I'm happy to see him lose. I don't know. Him and the Patriots in the Super Bowl, which I thankfully didn't watch, but at least bet on the Patriots to win me some money. That was my only theory on that one. I'm glad he lost, even though it was to one of my most hated teams, the Patriots. So this year, I had a feeling like, all right, it's going to regress, and it regressed. However, I liked them last week. I bet on them last week against the Seattle Seahawks, and I think they're rebounding right now. They're 8-5, 7-5, 8-5, and I love them. -1 against the stinking Dallas Cowboys. I think Sean McVay. This game reminds me a lot of the Philadelphia Eagles Seattle Seahawks game. Somehow the Eagles were favored at the beginning by 2 or 3, but that line instantly got pushed or bet down to like Seattle. I think Seattle was -1 at kickoff, and I would have bet the house on Seattle. I went to that game, but I just couldn't bet against my Eagles. So this game to me reminds me a lot of that. The Rams are going to come in. The Cowboys are a shit show and a horrible team. So the second game I like of the afternoon games is The LA Rams, -1.5 is the latest against the Dallas Cowboys. And the second afternoon game, the third game overall that I like, it's related to this Rams. Who are the Rams chasing? The Minnesota Vikings. This is exactly the time of year where Kirk Cousins, Mr. 8-8 quarterback, starts to nosedive. They had a struggle against the Detroit Lions last week. They're going to LA. LA, going to Chargers. The Chargers, when they got the pressure on and they're favored, that's when they're terrible. Now they're eliminated from the playoffs. All the pressure's off. And they got nothing to lose and everything to play for. They're getting 1.5. They're getting 2 at some places. My second great afternoon pick. My two bonus afternoon picks. So we got the LA Rams against the Dallas Cowboys, and we're taking the LA Chargers. We're going all LA this weekend. Getting 2 against the Minnesota Vikings. So take that to the bank. And finally, the last of the games that I like the Seattle Seahawks. I think they bounce back. They're -6.5, going to Carolina. Carolina mailed in this season. They lost to the Redskins at home, who stink, and they got smoked by Atlanta on the road. I think Seattle comes in here. They had their ass handed to them by the Rams, division opponent. They're going to come into Carolina. They win this game by 14 easy. So let's go with Seattle. Who else I also like? The 2 other ones. I got to go against my Philadelphia Eagles. I would take the Redskins +5.5 all day long. The Eagles stink in a must-win game in December at home to a 2-10 Giants team. They were down 17-3 and had to go to overtime to beat that horrible Giants team. So I would take the Skins. And speaking of that horrible Giants team, Miami Dolphins, in a weird quirk, are going to the Meadowlands 2 weekends in a row. They covered last week against the Jets, and they're going to cover +3 this week again against the Giants. So there we go. Seahawks, Skins, Dolphins. Let's go win some money. That's what the Line Whisperer says. Now, let's get at it.